Yo, what is up, guys? We are back again. Vicky Melody once again is here. We're saying happy New Year to you all. Thank God that we made it to this year and everyone is alive and healthy. And we pray that this year is going to be more fruitful. So to everyone watching who has been supporting this channel with the subscribers and everyone who's still going to subscribe, I said this year is going to be awesome. Everything that you find your hand doing, and as long as your heart is in it, you're going to smile and going to succeed in it. So today we have a mixing tutorial again. Just like I like to give updates on mixes I've done. So I'll be making a tutorial on a particular song, and this artist is he's from the US. I can't remember exactly where, but he's from the US, and his name should be on the screen. Their names and their handles should be on the screen right now, so you could check them out. So they sent me this project, so you could send me your projects from anywhere you are in the world and have me mix your song and give it that flavor that it deserves. You understand? So they sent me this stuff and I opened it. So let's just jump into the system and I'll guide you through on how I made this stuff. So let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I turned this vocal from what it sounds like before to the final product. I'm gonna play both versions and we'll go step by step on what I did. So this is how it sounds like before I started processing it.
Somebody calling 911. That girl, she do my shit, my mind, Somebody calling 911. That girl, she dey give me half attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come close, one touch, let me feel it. And I know, say you see me. Baby girl, I know, say you feel me. Cause you really know that nigga being wavy. Fly to Dubai or the moon, baby.
Then this is what it sounds like after I processed it.
Somebody calling 911. That girl, she do my shit, my mind, Somebody calling 911. That girl, she dey give me half attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come close, one touch, let me feel it. And I know, say you see me. Baby girl, I know, say you feel me. Cause you really know that nigga being wavy. Fly to Dubai or the moon, baby. Anything you want, I dey give, baby.
Okay, so I bypassed every plugin except the auto tune, from the first instance, because I really auto tune is like the basic plugin in VST in Afrobeat. Understand? So now let's just go straight. Now when he sent me the vocals, every microphone is different. So before you start mixing, you don't just start putting plugins. You listen to the sound you have, then you have in mind the sound you are going for, then you know the plugins that will lead you to that direction. That's a tip. So he sent me his vocals. They were recorded with a different microphone, and I felt the microphone has the lesser quality from the one I use. But no microphone is really that unusable. You have to know the mixer has to know the sound that each microphone produces, because a microphone is typically an instrument that converts sound energy to electrical energy. So now every microphone company produces different values of electricity and the conversions and the rest of that. So that's why some microphones sound much more better and they are more expensive than the lesser quality ones, because they've done more work inside. But that's just the physics behind it. But you have to just understand it's all about frequency. So when he sent me the vocals, I listened to it, and they were quite they had so many low rumbles, and I wasn't enjoying it. So that was the first thing I wanted to cut out from the vocals. Now what I did was, firstly I added my auto tune. On, not on the group track, on the individual tracks, because he had like about 5 tracks of the vocals, both backups and the rest. So I added one instance of auto tune on each of the buses. Then I added a noise suppressor. Sometimes I use noise gate, but sometimes I use the waves noise suppressor to kind of kill the noise. So that was it. And now on the insert, not on the insert, but now I use FL depending on my mood. But for me, most of the times when it comes to working on audio vocals, I go to Cubase, because Cubase gives me more flexibility. There are people who are more flexible with FL, Logic, Ableton. So it depends on the one you are comfortable with that gives you the speed you need. So when it comes to audio, Cubase gives me that speed I need. So I came that this is just for the first instance of the vocal. I have like 1, 2, 3. So in each of the instances of the vocal, I added an EQ to cut off the lows, like about 100. I did it for all the tracks, all the vocal tracks, before sending all the vocal tracks to a group track where I will affect all of them together. So I wouldn't want my group track to be receiving most of those low frequencies that are not useful, because this, like, we have about 4 tracks of his vocals. Then if the 4 of them add frequencies from the 100 hertz downwards, they're going to add stuff that will be hard to EQ out. So I had to EQ them individually before sending all of them to my group track. So that was just all I did for all of them. Then I came down to, I sent all these vocals to my group 1. That's where my vocals are. So the first thing I added there was an EQ. Most of the times I was supposed to add a compressor instantly, but because of the microphone and I was still hearing some most problem frequencies, that's the first thing I go for. The problem areas, I take them off. So what I did was I still came down and cut off the lows from around 106 hertz, because I was still hearing it. Then I came down to about 108. I had to do some sweeps and listen for the problem areas. You have to do this most of the times in your vocal. So I removed this frequency. You see that frequency was woo, and I didn't like it. It was kind of messed up for me. And this other frequency,
And somebody called attention.
and I removed the third frequency, which is this.
Yes. And someone.
Now this is not applicable to every microphone. It depends on the microphone, the environment where it was recorded, and the rest of that. So this was me just paying attention to the sound first. Then I added this. I boosted this frequency because I felt the vocal was a little bit dead in that area. Just like adding a little bit more aggression to the artist. Then I gave you like a very high a high boost from around 7k 8k. I gave you like a 3 dB, almost like a 4 dB boost, because the microphone wasn't representing the high frequencies very well. So I had to add this just to give the vocal that presence and life, you understand? So the vocal, I will bypass this EQ, and you hear what I did with the EQ.
Yeah, she did mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911. That girl, she did give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come close, one touch, let me feel it. And I know say you see me. Baby girl, I know say you feel me. Cause she really know that nigga being wavy. Fly to Dubai on the moon, baby. Yeah.
So when I brought in the EQ, it felt like the vocal got a little bit louder. It wasn't getting louder. Your ear was just perceiving the sweet frequencies more, since we've taken away most of the problem frequencies, you understand? So now the next thing I did was compression. And you already know what a compressor does. In case you don't know, there is a video on the card here. you should just click on it later and watch it so you understand compression. So I added the compressor, and I love using the far filter compressor. But lately, I found out other compressors that I love so much, and most of them are analog styled compressors. So mostly from now onwards, I'll be using more of analog modeled plugins, because I discovered they add more flavor to the stuff. So, but this was a song I did few weeks ago. So before finding out what I found out about analog modeled compressors. So even in the course of the channel, you'll be seeing me using analog styled compressors and plugins. So I use the compressor to glue the sound together.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, you know. Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come.
Was getting around like 3 to 4 dB of gain reduction, and I was okay with that. So the next plugin I added here was an EQ. So I added an EQ. So most of the times when I'm looking for a particular kind of sound, I just use EQs that don't show me any graph, any stuff. I just listen for the sound. Most of the times I use non-graphical EQs to just dial in the sounds I want. So what I did was I rolled off much of the lows again till about 127. Then I came down to the 10K, the brightness of the vocal, and I gave it like a little bit of 1 dB boosts, and that was just all. I loved the sound it gave me. So it was sounding like this.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, you know. Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking,
You wouldn't even notice much of a difference until I bypass all the 3 plugins. Then you see how far we've gone with this vocal. But I'll just keep going and going. The next thing I added was another EQ, because some of the times I don't even add up to 3 or 4 EQs. Sometimes I add 5 until I get the sound I'm looking for. So the sound should be in your head. The sound should be playing in your head until you get the sound you want. Then keep doing what you should do until you get that sound you want. So you have the destination already in your mind before coming into the stuff. So now, what I now initiated some kind of EQing. Yeah, because I think in the process of the song, there are some sections of the song I found that there were some frequencies picking out. I think it was somewhere around in the second verse or somewhere. Those frequencies weren't picking. They weren't picking out in some areas, but it got to a particular area and started picking. So the best thing to do for that kind of a thing is not to just EQ it out, is to just add a dynamic EQ. So whenever those frequencies pop, the EQ will activate and take it down, instead of staying removed all the time, and you'll be killing some of the vibes in the first verse or some other areas where those things are not even a problem. So I did a dynamic EQ for this frequency. I was taking it down anytime it got so harsh in any part of the song.
yeah, that girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause
She did give me up attention. There was some play because of the microphone. I've been saying because of the microphone. Not all microphones give this kind of issues, you understand? So, and this other frequency, I was giving it.
that girl, she dey give me up attention.
Let me make it look bigger so you understand.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, you know. Somebody call the
You
911.
see, they're not activating all the time. They're just activating when some certain frequencies get so loud. And I did it again in this frequency.
Yeah, she.
You see, throughout even these sections I'm playing, you won't see this particular frequency ducking. I think it happened because I have to play the song from the beginning to the end. And in one of those places, there was some words he said that made those frequencies to be harsh. So I put it there. Just anytime it comes up, just EQ for me and go down. It's like putting an automatic EQ.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, you know. Somebody call the 911.
I also did some cuts I also did some cuts. I didn't like this frequency.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, pattern.
You need to have your headphones or your speakers to understand the sounds we are doing here. So I also did a cut on this frequency.
Yeah, she that. Yeah, she dey.
Yeah. So with that, I took those things out and I added one of my favorite plugins. Vitamin. I use Vitamin to add sauce, or I don't know. Vitamin is just good. You can add it. You can use Vitamin for mastering. You can use it for anything. It just adds something good on some certain frequencies without making them sound so harsh or something like that. Look at in this high frequency, I gave you like a 12 dB boost. Try a 12 dB boost on an EQ to sound so off, but there's something so special about Vitamin that I love it so much. It adds saturation instead of boosting frequencies. You just add some harmonics under the certain frequency. So I added this high frequency, and I added a little bit of body for the song too, because as I was cutting a lot of lows and I was losing the body of the song of the vocal, so I added a little bit. Those are the two places I added. So most of the times if I boost here or here and listen, if it's sweet to my ear, I'll add them to test. But if they were not good enough, I'll take them off. So just don't add stuff because they are there. Boost some knobs and see what they add to your vocals. If they are good, add them, blend it in. But if they are not good, don't add it. So with this, you're sounding like.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come close, one touch, let me feel it, and I know.
Let me exaggerate this frequency so you understand what I was adding.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention.
So you see, I was adding brightness to the vocals live, but without making it sound so harsh, and a little bit of body.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911.
Now another plugin I also love. This is an exciter. I added the vintage oral exciter. Is a nice plugin. As makes your vocal excited, like as the name implies. You understand? So at this point, if you've not subscribed, well, it's your choice. It's your choice. I wouldn't force anyone to subscribe, but you know what to do. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. But if you don't want, it's your choice. You do whatever you want. It's your subscription, not mine. But if you're getting value from, which I know I put out a lot of stuff that help a lot of people, because my DMs they are full with a lot of people thanking me for what I've been doing. So in case if you feel like you want more, just subscribe. It's for your own good. Yeah, so let's continue. So I added this exciter. So I'm just going to bypass it, and the only thing about this exciter is just for me, I like using the mix one, and it just blend in your AX mix, the effect, blend it in. But I found out that most of the time between 3 and 5 or 6 is good enough for the vocal.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking, get your body hotter than the rhythm. Come close, one touch, let me feel it, and I know so easy.
So after adding this exciter, he excited all the frequencies well, but I felt that he exaggerated the high frequencies, the the S's and the T's. So I wasn't pleased with that. So there is a remedy. I added a DS after everything. So anytime he excites it and it gets so the S's and the sibilances get so loud, the DS will come in and take the S's down.
Yeah, she dey mash up my mind, Somebody call the 911. That girl, she dey give me up attention. Cause lyrically speaking,
I think I have to change my computer this year because I'm not getting satisfied enough, because he is lagging. This thing should be displaying correctly, but I don't know why the display is kind of being slow. You're supposed to be seeing the S's being taken down and the rest of that. So I'm feeling I'm done with this computer right now.
Yeah, she did mash up my mind, somebody call the 911.
But you get the idea. Anytime the S is come so loud, it takes it down. Then the last plugin I added was another EQ. Just one dynamic EQ, nothing serious at this frequency. Right, I think he got exaggerated from the exciter, and the DS I wasn't catching that because the DS I was set around 5 to 6K. So the DS I can't catch that, so I used a dynamic EQ to just check that, and that was all. So I'm going to bypass it again and play it for you to understand. I think I should put another section of the song.
Yeah, yeah, many girls for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to bypass the plugins I've added so far, then you understand how far we've gone.
Yeah, yeah, many girls for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah. Man, give you that one mutumbo something. No, I give you that one bulumbo something. When you roll with the G, girl, you be stunting. Baby, you should stop.
That was good. I know you loved it. So, moving on. The next thing I added was I started bringing up my effects. The first effect I added was this guy is a delay, and I used the money delay again. The reason why I use money delay this time, most times I use H delay. You can use any delay you want, but I used money delay because I wanted the delay to have some reverb. Sometimes what I would do, if I use the H delay and at a point I wanted the delay to have reverb, I would on the effects of the delay, I'll send it down to a reverb and mix it down. But I didn't have the strength for that, so there's no set rule, so I just wanted my delay to have a reverb effect and also a phaser effect. I wanted it to just, I don't want it to just be a straight delay. I wanted it to have effects. That was why I went for this particular plugin, and I added phase, a little bit of phase and a little bit of reverb, and it was sounding like this.
Yeah, yeah, many girls for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to increase this phase so you understand what the phase was doing. It was just giving the delayed vocal some character.
Yeah, yeah, many girls for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah. Man, give it.
So I wanted that as in that. I don't know how to explain it. I wanted something different from my delay. I didn't just want it to just be just straight delay. Then I added a little bit of reverb so it to have some room and space to it. So that was all. Then that delay was certainly too much. That delay was too much. So I said, okay, look at what I was going to do. I was going to do some side chaining where I'm going to side chain the delay. So anytime the vocal is speaking, like when he's singing, the delay goes down and only comes up when his vocal is not singing, and the delay pops. So what I did a little bit of side chain. Every DAW has their own way of doing side chain. It's just about using my vocal to trigger a compressor inside the effects. So this is how I did mine in Cubase 10. You could do it in different ways in FL, and so in the compressor, I sent it to a sidechain. So now my lead vocal is now activating a compressor. So anytime the vocal comes, the compressor will duck down the delay. You understand? So anytime the vocal is no longer active, the delay will rise up to its normal, and it won't cloud up your vocals. So that was what he was doing.
Yeah, yeah, many girls for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah. Man, give you that one mutumbo something. No, I give you that one bulumbo something.
So you hear that the delay is no longer that present anytime the vocal is present. So anytime the vocal is not singing, the delay comes to life. Understand? So but if I take it out now, you see that the delay will kind of like cloud up the whole mix, and it will be distracting.
Yeah, yeah, many girl for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah. Might give you that one mutombo something. No, I give you that one bolombo something. When you roll with the jigger, you be.
So that was just it. I did a little bit of side chain, and I brought in my reverb. I love the Mani. I use a lot of Mani plugins. The Mani reverb is my favorite reverb actually. The Mani reverb. So that's what I use, and I use the plates. And plates are good for vocals. I know a lot of you guys have asked me to do reverb tutorial, and I think I'll still do it if I get more of the requests there. And if you have any kind of tutorial you want to see on the channel, just drop it on the comment section, and don't forget to like. It helps this video to get to more people on the YouTube space, and it gives me more motivation to dish out content in my free time, because I'm always busy, but I find that free time because I get motivated by the response you guys give me. So always keep motivating me to drop content. So with the delay, with the reverb, it was sounding like this.
Yeah, yeah, many girl.
Reverbs are very important, but don't overuse them. What the reverb does is that every sound happens in an environment, a concert hall, a room, so every sound has to be represented by an environment. So that's we use reverb to put our vocal in a certain environment. That's why reverbs are very important. So, but don't overuse it. So I use it to give you that room and space, and it helps it to blend more into the instrumental. You understand? I was doing this in solo mode, but it's not advisable. You have to be doing it when your beat is playing, so you know what is sounding right with the beat in context. So I was just doing this individually, but do it with your beat playing. Don't, unless you want to. The time I solo my vocals is when I want to cut out a certain frequency that I know that is bad. That's when I solo. But anytime I want to add something, I'll make sure the whole stuff is playing, because everything is relative to the other. The sound, you have to know what sounds good as a family, as a unit. So I added the reverb, and was sounding.
Yeah, yeah, many girl for the party, yeah. But I got my eyes on you, yeah, yeah. Might give you that one mutombo something. No, I give you that one bolombo something. When you roll with it.
So that was it, guys. So in case you have any of your mixes that you want to be handled by me, you could hit me up on my contacts on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe. Now help the boy. And like, comment, and relate with me on Instagram, and then on WhatsApp you send me your stuff. So for also in-depth tutorials, because I have a lot of you guys coming to my DM and my messages and asking me to do in-depth tutorials, because definitely it's not everything that we do will show on the YouTube space. There are some stuff that you gain from one-on-one lessons. So in case you're interested, you could hit me up and I will tell you what is involved, and we'll get it done. So see you guys on the next tutorial from whatever you guys request on the comment section. Then I will look into that. So happy new year once again, and enjoy the rest of your year.